Okay, so Wednesday, after my live video, I went on to just check this stuff on my blog and I reread the conversation to find out that the little boy they sent me a picture of first that I thought was 8 or 9 wasn't 8 or 9, it was 12. The boy was 12. And I think my sister Cindy on the other side was whispering in my ear because I became enraged when the whole scope of the conversation came into mind. It doesn't make any difference if that picture of that 12-year-old they know or not. They're using that picture to exploit a child. And then they argue, oh no, he's not 12 years old, and then sent me a picture of a young teenage boy. All the while soliciting sex for them from me. You just have to go to the link in the description and read the screenshots of the conversation for yourself. And it dawned on me that this group of child traffickers is openly and blatantly exploiting children online with me. And I was mad. And then all of a sudden, and I know it was probably Cindy, because someone whispered it in my head, you need to call 911. And I spent a half an hour arguing with myself over that because I didn't want to call 911. What good was it going to do? I didn't see the sense in doing it. But like always, I always do what I'm told. So I called Shelby County 911 and started to explain the situation and how I was angry that they're sending me pictures of a 12-year-old boy, and God knows how young that teenage boy picture is. And all Neil Gross, my sheriff, and his little captain, Chad Butler, had to do was check their emails because everything was being forwarded to them. And I was yelling on the phone. I'm sick of them sending me pictures of children and soliciting sex. Child traffickers who are exploiting children online. But I'm crazy because I have an issue. So the woman was professional. She told me, can I get you to call the non-emergency number so that I'm not holding up the emergency call number? And at the time I was like, yeah, sure, fine. Now looking back, what I realize is she wanted me on that non-emergency line because the emergency line was being recorded and they wanted me on something that was not recorded. And the reason why I say that is because with everything that I said, her reply to me was, you need to go to the Council Bluffs office and report this to the FBI. The Council Bluffs office. You need to go to the FBI in Council Bluffs. And I reiterated it. You want me to go to the FBI office in Council Bluffs? And she said, yes. That was the end of the conversation. I said, fine. So the next day, I woke up and had decided, because I didn't have any money. I didn't have any money to go to Omaha and drive to Omaha. And I didn't see the use of it anyway. And so I just blew it off. Well, come to find out yesterday morning, I find out that Social Security was supposed to pay me $23 more a month and didn't. And I got a back pay thing of $200. So when I found out about that yesterday, I figured, okay, well, maybe this is heaven telling me that I need to go down to the Council Bluffs FBI thing and report it, even though I have no faith, and for good reason. So I go down to Council Bluffs yesterday, and I'm trying to find this FBI office. Can't find it at all. So I do what I usually do. I drive out to Sam's Club on 132nd and L and get gas. And I decide, well, maybe if I go, maybe I should look and see where the Omaha one was, because it used to be downtown, the Omaha FBI division, and see if they know where the Council Bluffs one is. So I type it into Wazi. Come to find out, the building is like right beside. It's at 121st and I Street. It's on, I guess, Court Street or something. But it's right there. I've driven past this building over and over and over and over. It looks like a fucking prison. So, and it was right at Sam's. I mean, I was right there. So I pull in, and it looks like a prison. It has these great big metal gate and this fence. You can't get in. It doesn't look like anyone works there. It looks like it's an abandoned building. So I pull up to the front, and this young security guard dude comes out and says, "Are you lost?" And I said, "Yes, I was told by my sheriff to go to the Council Bluffs office of the FBI, but I can't find the Council Bluffs office. Do you have an address?" And he says, "We do have an office in Council Bluffs. Come on in. I'll get your ID, and we'll figure this out." So I park my car and go in, and the young guys there, I'm young, he had to have been late 20s, early 30s. But then there was an older guy there. And he was a complete prick. And the minute he took my ID, his whole demeanor, he told me that I could have someone come down, but it usually took at least 40 minutes. And where I would be waiting, which is on the other side of their leaded glass, is this room that doesn't have a chair in it. There's no place. So I'd have to be standing, and the fucking place was like 90 degrees. And I was just like, no. So I now know why heaven sent me there. Because had all of this shit happened, I would not have been at the front gates of the Omaha FBI. And the Omaha FBI ain't gonna do shit for me. But what was miraculous is, he physically reached over and picked up a pen. And he physically reached and got his piece of paper. And then he focused his intent, his nasty ass intent, which was all over his face, in his eyes that I was looking directly into, and that smug ass grin they always fucking have. And he circled his intent on a slip of paper. And when he handed it to me, he slid it over, and what he had circled was their address. And when he slid it over to me at the same time, looking me straight in the eye with that dumbass grin on his face, said, "This is where you are now," with this dumbass grin, and slid this piece of paper to me, which I physically accepted. It works the same way as when I said the government dude who came out and was looking me in the eye and shook my hand while an F4 tornado was a mile away from us. It's the same thing. Good morning, Saki. He focused his intent into this, and I accepted it. And before I had even gotten to my car, I was able to send him the dark and all those that he's involved with. I was able to go to the FBI, Omaha FBI department, and gift them the dark yesterday. That's why I know that's why I was told to call 911. Because had things not played out, I would have never found myself at the gates of the Omaha FBI. What's fucking next? Is God gonna tell me I gotta go bang on the door of Offutt Air Force Base? You know, I think that's already dealt with because of the dude. Loose ends are being tied up. I'm a dickhead because they're exploiting children, sending pictures and saying that they want me to have sex with them, that they want to have sex with me. You can go read the emails. Now, I haven't gotten any emails from that, but this is what I figure has happened. Either Neil Gross, Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff, or his captain, Chad Butler, sent them all a group email. Hey guys, Dave Shurter got really mad when you exploited a 12-year-old boy who I guess is now a teenage boy compared to you, but he got really mad that you solicited sex from him for these children. And so he called up our 911 operator and yelled some really mean things about us to her. And it really stressed us out. So could you please not solicit fucking sex for children from him? Because he's unreasonable and has a fucking problem with it. Just a guess that's how it went. Just a fucking guess. And they sent me, there is no Council Bluffs FBI. There is none. It's not open to the public. So the 911 operator at the Shelby County 911 operator, so what? Are they all derelict in their duty? They don't have a fucking clue. She didn't know that there was no FBI office in Council Bluffs that a person could go make a report to. Didn't know that. Didn't know that. Didn't have a fucking clue in her head, huh? Because that's where she sent me. That's why I ended up at the Omaha FBI, because I couldn't find the Council Bluffs one. But, you know, yeah. And I guess that my clock in my office is like Cogsworth, the clock in Beauty and the Beast. When I'm gone and in Omaha, it's just so sad that it can't keep time. Because this morning I go into my office and the clock that I just set, that I just bitched about just Wednesday that they were in fucking with, was 2 hours behind. I had just set it at the right time, and it's keeping the right time now. I set it about 4 o'clock this morning. Perfect time. Had perfect time yesterday before I left. But in the few hours that I was in Omaha, it lost 2 hours worth of time in my office. After the sheriff's department told me to go to the Council Bluffs FBI office and make a report because a fucking group of people that I say are not just murderers, but they're involved in child trafficking, are sending me fucking pictures of kids soliciting sex. But I'm crazy for having a fucking reaction to it. That's their argument, I guess. And it doesn't make any difference if they knew who that 12-year-old is, or if they know who that teenage boy is that they sent me a picture of. They're still sexually exploiting their images. But I guess that's all okay. It's not my fucking sheriff's job to fucking care. It's not his job to talk about the right amount of explosions at the Earlene, Iowa gas station. It's not his job to fucking talk about all the death threats and the shit that came on before the Earlene, Iowa gas station explosion. The same time Owen drops over dead, they can commit any fucking crimes they want to fucking commit. And my sheriff, it's not my job. It's not his job to fucking do anything about it. And their 911 operator fucking sends me to an FBI office that doesn't fucking exist. Mm-hmm. If you knew what Michael Aquino trained me to do, you would realize the importance of this. This is the whole reason why I was told to call 911. Because events wouldn't have gone the way they did had I not had to go. Yeah, I had to go to the front, the FBI place, to go talk about them sending me pictures exploiting children looking for sex. That my sheriff is well aware of because he's gotten all the emails. And if he hasn't gotten the emails, you can go to my blog and read them yourselves. But it's not his job to care about fucking the sexual exploitation of children. And did I talk to anybody? No. No. Because when he slid this piece of paper over to me and the look on his face, I knew that if I stood in that hot ass room, it would have been way more than 40 minutes. I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere. And when I walked out, of course, the first thought in my head was, I knew going to the Omaha FBI wasn't going to fucking elicit anything other than them breaking into my house and they're probably on my computer. That's what I'm figuring. I don't give a fuck, you know? Because God uses all of their shit against them. Them exploiting, I would have never gotten this. And already sent the dark. The same shit that's going to happen to these dudes and all their group that happened to the fucking government dude that I did the same thing to, who is now gone. And you want to know what? I'd be willing to bet that dude doesn't feel content in his life anymore. When he goes to sleep, I bet he's not dreaming about cotton candy and lollipops. Something's telling me that he's not dreaming of sugar plum fairies. You know? I bet his life is starting to become a fucking misery. Because that's how it always works. But they want me to think that they're the ones in control. They're the ones who have all the power. And yet, I keep telling them the reason why God keeps letting them do the shit to me that they get to do to me is because the darkness can't return to them without getting their shit given in the first place. They're giving all the shit. To have to process the feelings that they are in my house anytime they want. And they can do whatever they want to me at any moment in time, and there's not a fucking thing I can do. Processing all of that shit goes right into the goddamn dark and is gonna wait and is waiting for them. You know? They think they're gonna live forever. Everybody does. Till they're about to take their last fucking breath. And then suddenly they think the words, "I'm sorry," is gonna cut it. Like those words are like abracadabra. It's not gonna fucking work. They're gonna end up in the goddamn dark. And so, again, heaven, the reason why heaven told me to call 911 is because heaven knew that I would end up at the front doors of the Omaha FBI. The very group that helped hide Franklin. The very group that has fucking been protecting these goddamn child killers from the beginning. You know? Thank you. You can post anything that I have. Save everything that I do. The YouTube station that they got taken down was all the stuff that I detailed when I was out in Washington, when Doug Mesner, aka Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple, was living 23 miles away from me. That's the YouTube station they took down. What was on that YouTube station? All the shit that happened after I went on the John B. Wells show and the whole Jacob Wetterling fiasco and all of that. All of those videos were on there. They're all gone now. That's what they wanted down. Because it's all part of their fucking child trafficking bullshit. That's why they focused on it. You know, the Dead Isaac Happy Club had absolutely no reason to go after that channel. I didn't even know they fucking existed. But it was all Doug Mesner, aka Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple. That's why they got all those videos down, and they think that all matters. They think that going after my shit is going to make it matter. I know that one of those accounts that is soliciting sex from me is Doug Mesner. I knew it the minute he told me that I didn't have the upper hand. Because I never said I had the upper hand. I just said they didn't have it. I don't have it, but neither do they. But it was how he said it that I knew that one of those accounts was Doug Mesner, aka Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple. The very Satanic Temple that did that stupid shit at the Capitol in Iowa last Christmas with the Baphomet statue that someone came up and beheaded. Oh my, it was just all over the news. But that's because they don't want anyone to even look at their Satanic Temple after school daycare bullshit where they're focusing, targeting on kids. You know, don't want that. Don't want anyone to look at Doug Mesner, whose whole history is targeting and shutting ritual abuse survivors and people who were trafficked as children up. That's his whole fucking history. And you don't have to take it from me. Go look at the shit that he's done with the SMART conference and Neil Brick. It's not like the shit isn't out there and well known. You know, he has a history of neutralizing. It is. Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple. That is his whole name. That is who he identifies with. You know? That's him. You know? They can send me fucking pictures of kids and solicit sex online. I send this shit to my sheriff and not a fucking thing happens to them. Not a fucking thing happens to them. That's why I didn't want to call 911. That's why I didn't want to go to the FBI. Shit, they could blow the gas station up and not a fucking thing happened. Do you really think they're going to care about a few emails soliciting sex with kids and then arguing how it's okay because it's their great grandson or nephew or whatever the fuck it is, you know? But that's all okay. That's all okay. My sheriff knows. I send the fucking emails to him. I post the shit on my blog. What does it fucking take? You know? Nothing's gonna happen. And they know it. They know it. But I have a feeling that heaven has a surprise for them. I have a feeling that the sun has a big surprise for them. And I give it next year, you know? They're bound to the fucking dark. And I fucking directed the shit into the dark that this dude had his intent and his little group's intent, because it's all the FBI, even though he's the least of them and he's just a doorman, he represents them. And so I cast this shit into the dark before I even got to my car. And so heaven is tying up loose ends, basically. Because had I not been told to call 911, I would have never found myself at the gates, the front door of the Omaha FBI. Ever. Ever. Would have never done it. You know? But I never get told why I'm supposed to do shit. I'm just told to do it. Like being told to open up comments and start talking about Isaac Happy 4 years after the fact. You know, heaven is moving very fast now. Very, very fast. Right. I'm, the whole thing about it is that Benjamin Netanyahu is a bad dude. He's a bad dude. And it's not the Jews in Israel that are the issue. It's the Benjamin Netanyahus and all the nincompoops that are behind him. That's it. You know, it's the people in power. And they're just focusing it on everyone else. And the shit that they're doing there is just wrong. It's just wrong. But you want to know what? They know better than anybody that you're not supposed to start a war that you haven't won. That was part of Aquino's training. And that was the first rule. You know, they hate Torah Jews. Yes, they do. They hate real Jewish people. The people who actually are focused on heaven and God and the Word. That's what they hate. You have plenty of people coming out of Israel who are Jewish, practicing Jews, who are disgraced by the things that are happening there. That's why they hate me. Because my family is Jewish. I'm not Jewish, but that's because my grandmother left. But you want to know what my history is in the Jewish family? My grandmother's family, my dad's family, were Jewish Nazis. We helped the Nazis in Germany in World War II, and we were Jewish, you know? And so they hate me for a myriad of reasons and all their Nazi bullshit. Because it's their fucking meth heads, you know? The Goblin Dowd, who was Pootie Twang, went and was talking about, oh, David Shurter offers his neighbors a copy of his book like he's famous or something. And he knows that because he talked to one of my neighbors. Do you want to know the neighbor? Because it wasn't that hard to figure out. I've only done that to two neighbors around me, and one of them is not involved. But the other one is the very one who told me how they liked my night light, my front porch light, that I turned it off in the morning because they knew I was still alive in the morning. Same dude. They're talking. And my sheriff knows exactly who the fuck I'm talking about. Because I won't mention names on here. But when I send the shit to the police and investigators, I mention every fucking name I can. Because I figure it's the police and they need to have the information. Why be vague? You know? Why talk in obscure puzzles, riddles? You know? I think it's just better to actually be fucking forthright and just say it as it is. Bait. I've been on here for 30 minutes. I hate to do this, guys, but I'm getting off here. I have shit that I have to do in the yard. You know, I have that patio. I have to finish that thing today. And I just wanted to come on here so that the motherfuckers who sent me down to the fucking FBI office that doesn't exist, I just want you to thank you. Thank you. Because him focusing all of your intent on a piece of paper and sliding it to me where I accepted it, if you had a clue about what I was trained in, you'd realize how important that was. Just as important as the government dude shaking my hand when an F4 tornado was just a mile away. You know? Same fucking principles. But I know your ignorant ass that's never fucking read a book, let alone knows anything about quantum physics, it just doesn't sound right to you, so you don't believe it. And I'm not talking for everybody, but there are a lot of you that listen to these that are not fans of mine. You know, spiritual warfare is my forte. Exactly, cognitive. It is my forte. I'm very, very adept at it, and I'm good at it. And heaven directs me because heaven is the one who told me to call 911 and then follow it through so that I could be at the gates of the FBI office in Omaha, Nebraska. One of the very organizations that has helped let this fucking child traffic thing go since fucking the days of Franklin and probably before. But and they're so smug. That security guard that handed me that piece of paper, they always have that dumbass smile on their face. They always have that they always start off with that dumbass grin. It is their calling card. Why don't you just have a flashing neon sign that flashes above your head that says, I'm a child killing piece of shit. I love predators. Because that's what ends up happening when you have that dumbass grin on your face and there's no smile in your eye. There's malice in your eye when that dumbass grin is on your face. And you're too fucking stupid and ignorant to realize it. And anybody who still has their humanity left, still has grasp of their soul, can see it when they look into your faces. But God help Shelby County, because obviously the 911 department is as, what's the word that I want to use? They just don't know how to do their job, obviously. You know, they just don't know how to do their job. They're idiots. They give people wrong advice. Someone comes to you because someone is soliciting sex from you. Inept. Exactly. Thank you. That is the very word I was looking for. Inept. But I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. The anger that I had when I ended up having to call 911 on Wednesday, I hadn't been angry like that for a long, long time. And yesterday, I didn't feel well because of it. Because I was so angry at the whole situation. And again, I wasn't going to go down there, but then Social Security ended up giving me $200 of back pay out of nowhere. And I figured that was a sign from God. And it was. It was a sign from God, because otherwise I wouldn't have gone down. I didn't have money for gas. You know, I didn't have the money to go down. And I figured, well, heaven obviously doesn't want me to go down. It's not providing me a way to go down. And then a way to go down was provided. That's what I'm saying. You know? Heaven was just like, oh, no, no, no. Your petty excuses aren't going to work. Here, let me do this for you. So you'll do what you're told. So I drove down there. You know? I don't know what they're doing in my office. I'm sure that they're on my computer. But you want to know what? I don't use any of my emails on my computer. There's no bank information on my computer. There's nothing. Because I do everything with my phone, basically, you know? And so, bait. There was a reason why heaven wanted me to call 911, because heaven needed everything that happened at the FBI office in Omaha, Nebraska yesterday to happen. Everything. And if you think I didn't use the opportunities that were presented right in front of me, then you obviously don't have a clue of who I am or have an idea of what I've been saying the whole time. The whole time. But the fact remains, they can send me pictures of 12-year-old boys, and I don't know how young that teenage boy was, soliciting for sex, and my police are okay with it. In fact, they'll give me bogus fucking information. Tell me go to an FBI office that doesn't exist, that you can't go to. There's no Council Bluffs FBI office. And it was meant to do it on purpose because they want to demoralize me and get me to stop in the worst way, despite the fact that I have continuously said it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And I'm telling you, Neil Gross, they send me one more motherfucking picture of a kid, and I'm going to organize a protest right outside your fucking office. And if you think I won't, you obviously haven't gotten a clue of what I'm fucking like. I'll be like Peter Chernoff. If I have to go stand there alone, I will. I can't, exactly cognitive. I can't stop, and I won't stop. And I'm not dealing with their bullshit without thinking there's nothing that can be done. There's always something that can be done. And with that said, I gotta get off here. I just gotta go busy myself in the dirt and finish that patio and live as much of a normal life as I am actually able to live. Because their bullshit is so bizarre. The last week, how long have they been sending you pics of kids? It started last week. Everything is posted on my blog, except the pictures of the kids. I won't post the pictures of the kids. You see that there's pictures there, but you won't see their faces. You won't see what the picture is. But my police have, because I just forward it to them. And then you go read the description. Go click on in the link in the description and go read that conversation. And he actually justifies why it's fucking okay to exploit fucking kids. But obviously it's okay because the fucking cops don't do shit. If you go and try and give it to them, tell them the information, give them a fucking report, they give you bogus information, they kick the can down the road and send you to places that don't even fucking exist. And yet they're the ones that everyone is supposed to respect. They're the ones who everyone is supposed to bow down to their fucking authority. And they support and protect child killers. That's how it fucking is. You respect fucking child killers, you end up in the goddamn dark, and you fucking deserve it.